doesn't look like a door. If you open that up, that bottle's in there, and you can have it.
Wow, how about that? All right.
All right.
Now that you've told everyone where it is, I hope nobody beats me to it.
I was just going to say, and you should go now, because now everybody knows where it is, but you deserve it, my friend. Thank you for all of these hours.
So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
It's been exactly 310 days since that infamous call between the defeated then-President Trump and Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. He resisted that pressure to interfere in the election, but almost a year later, the big lie is bolder than ever as the Republican Party continues its voter suppression crusade nationwide. And the New York Times reports that an Atlanta district attorney could soon impanel a grand jury to get to the bottom of Trump's potentially illegal January 2nd call to Secretary Raffensperger. Joining me now is that man, Brad Raffensperger, the current Georgia Secretary of State and author of the new book, Integrity Counts. Secretary of State Raffensperger, thank you very, very much for coming to the Sunday show. Why did you feel it was important to write this book now?
Sets the record straight. It really gives people all the facts in response to all the misinformation and falsehoods that were spread last year after the election. And I think it's a story that needs to be told and needs to be out there because it's very important, really, for the history and also to make sure that we have stable and secure elections moving forward.
You know, in your book early on, you write, and I quote, "I voted for President Trump, and I'm a lifelong conservative Republican with a proven voting record to match. But I could not do what he asked because the numbers just weren't there. My job as Secretary of State is to oversee fair and honest elections for everyone. Was I disappointed in the outcome? Yes. Could I change the outcome? No." How does it make you feel that still to this day, Donald Trump continues to push what we now call the big lie?
Well, whatever people are saying about last year's elections, if it's in difference from what we're saying, it's not supported on facts. And that's why my book is fact-based. But I really help my Republican friends understand three key data points that puts it in perspective. 28,000 Georgians skipped the presidential ballot. They didn't vote for anyone, and yet they voted down ballot. And then in the in the metropolitan areas of Atlanta and Athens, David Perdue got 20,000 more votes than President Trump. In the Republican congressional districts, the Republican congressmen got 33,000 more votes than President Trump. Same ballots, everything was similar. And that really tells you the big story right there, what happened.
Mr. Raffensperger, I want to play for you something that you said with Ali Velshi yesterday that piqued my interest, and I ask you about it on the other side. Let's have a watch.
If you really look at what Stacey Abrams did, she lost the state of Georgia in 2018 by 55,000 votes. She questioned the legitimacy of our elections. She actually then set the table, along with all the leaders, national Democrat leaders that supported Stacey Abrams in her big lie, and set the table for President Trump then just to ramp it up and take it to the next level. Voter suppression and voter fraud, they're both sides of that coin, different sides, but stolen election claims undermine people's confidence in elections.
Now, to be clear, Stacey Abrams did say that Brian Kemp would be certified the winner of the election, and she did decry what she views, and a lot of people view, as voter suppression efforts in Georgia. But my question to you is it not dangerous and disingenuous to equate questioning legitimate voter suppression with false claims of voter fraud? And couldn't you be doing more to convince voters that our elections are safe and secure?
Well, that's the point. Elections are safe and secure in Georgia. And I think it's really disingenuous when the left does not really fess up to the part that they played when Hillary Clinton and all those other people supported Stacey Abrams when she said that she would have won if it were not for voter suppression. 3 weeks ago in Virginia, she said, sometimes when you win, you haven't won. What is that all about? It's been 3.5 years. since we had the governor race here in Georgia, and she lost by 55,000 votes. President Trump then did the flip side, and he talked about voter fraud. But neither one of them were supported by the facts. We have record registrations. We have record turnout. We had 4 million for the governor's race at 18, and we had 5 million for the presidential race last year. We now have 17 days of early voting. We have no excuse absentee voting. We also have election day voting, and we have record registrations. And so we have safe and secure elections. It's not helpful for either party. And I think either party needs to look at what they're saying and then just realize that when you lose, you lose. Accept the facts that you have lost and move on. If you want to run again, by all means, but accept the results of the results.
Mr. Raffensperger, for a lot of people who are listening, they have not forgotten the fact that her opponent in that election was also the Secretary of State in Georgia, the referee in that election. I mean, isn't that not helpful in terms of people thinking that what happened in the Georgia governor's race wasn't exactly on the up and up?
Secretaries of State are on the ballot every time they run. And it may be actually a race for Secretary of State next time, and I'll be the Secretary of State. But people need to understand the power that we have and the power that we don't have. The power really is the counties. The counties run the elections. We have 159 counties. They're the ones that report the results. The Secretary of State oversees that, but we cannot change the election results.
And on that point, real quickly, given the new Georgia law, aren't you, as Secretary of State, completely removed from that process you just talked about?
No, what I have been removed from is being chair of the state election board. But the actual getting the counties ready, making sure that they have the appropriate equipment and anything else that they need, and that oversight, and also the investigation team we have, those are still housed within the Secretary of State's office. But yes, because of retribution, I'm not the chair of the state election board anymore. And I think that long-term consequences, it was a big mistake because the Secretary of State has always chaired the state election board.
Right. And now the state legislature is involved in that. Secretary of State in Georgia, Brad Raffensperger, thank you very, very much for coming to the Sunday Show. I really appreciate it. Coming up, iconic actress, that's right, I said iconic actress Sheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes, talk about last week's election wins and losses, and how they see it. Don't go anywhere.